Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. As I stated in my video on Saturday, or was it Sunday? I literally cannot remember when I uploaded it, but we are going to just go over periodization today. And so every Tuesday following today, it's just basically going to be some type of exercise concept, at least for the next little bit, just covering a small topic. So it's going to be pretty rough. It's not going to be very, I don't want to say not exciting, but it's not going to have anything cinematic. It's literally just going to be me here talking. So as mentioned in the beginning of this video, we're going to be covering periodization. Everything about periodization that we're talking about today will be coming from, obviously, the CSCS book, and that's just my source I'm going with. There's a lot of different sources. There seems to be no 100% agreeable definition for periodization, but I mean they're all pretty much the same, just different here and there. So just starting off with the textbook definition of periodization, it states that periodization is the logical and systematic process of sequencing and integrating training interventions in order to achieve peak performance at appropriate time points. So to me, that's really dry and boring. So to me, what periodization really means is just implementing different things at certain times during your training regimen, depending on how long you're training for. A lot of studies show that periodization isn't really needed for novice trainers, and the common consensus of what a novice is in the gym is someone who's been training for under a year, because you can really benefit from any type of exercise. Anything that's going to progressively overload your body is all good and well, but once you pass that 1 year to a year and a half threshold, it's time to start implementing different techniques and exercises into your routine, and that's where periodization comes in. So if you are following a training regimen or you're making your own, basically periodization allows you to have some type of structure in that to make sure you're not just doing the same thing for months on end. According to periodization, you really need to switch it up in order to make those peak performance gains. If you're just doing the same thing over and over, like I did that my first 2 years of training, and I did make progress. It was slow and not the best way, because I can see now looking back that if I had changed some exercises I was doing, if I had changed what I was doing throughout the weeks and months, I definitely could have saw better gains faster, and I could have progressed further than I am now if I would have started implementing periodization into my training sooner. There are specific time periods in periodization, and we're just going to go through those really quick. Periodization really starts out when you set your goals for either a year, 2 years, 3 years, very long-term goals. That's when periodization starts. That's when you need to start planning out your exercise routine, how you're going to implement new things throughout that timeline to make sure you're hitting your peak performance. So just looking at the periodization cycles that can be found in the textbook, the overarching time period is the multi-year plan. It just states here in this table that's 2 to 4 years. This is going to be the long-term plan where you set your main goals and what you plan to do and what you plan to achieve in the next 2 to 4 years. Then going lower, you have your annual training plan. This is going to be what you want to achieve this year, obviously annual, 1 year, what you want to achieve in a year to help you make those gains to get to that 2 to 4 year goal eventually. So then you have your macro cycle, which we discussed earlier. This is several months to a year. This is going to be where you start trying to narrow down what your goals are for your certain workout routines, your exercises that you want to perform, and how you want to start progressing in the gym. And then you have your mesocycle, that's 2 to 6 weeks. That's when you really start delving into your progressive overload. How you're going to progressively overload for these 2 to 6 weeks is very important. Your microcycle, this is just something that is every couple of days to 2 weeks. You can almost picture these time periods as a pyramid, with the multi-year plan being on top, the annual plans being the second layer, the third layer being your macro cycle, the fourth layer being your mesocycles, the fifth layer being your microcycles, and so on and so forth. The second to last layer is the training day. For some people, this can include multiple sessions, but for most people it's not, just because in my opinion that can lead to overtraining very easily. But depending on your schedule, multiple training sessions actually could work out very good for you. Say if you have to run in the morning and then do your weightlifting at night, or vice versa. If that works for you, you get it done, that's great. But for most people, you don't need to do running, lifting, and then running, lifting again the same day. You're not giving your body enough time to recover. But yeah, the second to last layer is the training day. So just looking over your exercise plan, obviously making sure that you are fueled and ready to go when you get there. And then the last layer is the training session. So this could be anywhere from 60 minutes to 3 hours. Really just depends on what kind of training you're doing and how long you want to be there. I hope you all enjoyed this video. We could have a deeper dive into periodization one day. I didn't know it was this intense, but there are more layers to it, more complexities of progressive overload, focusing on when your peak time period is, how long that lasts, so on and so forth. But I hope you enjoy this type of talking head. Again, every Tuesday following this Tuesday will be something like this, just going over a basic exercise concept. So if you have any concepts or ideas that you would like to have discussed on the channel, just let me know and I can get into that, research it, and maybe it will be the topic for next week. But anyways, again, hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't, like the video, subscribe. Thank you for watching as always, and have a great rest of your day.